London is known for being one of the shopping capitals of the world. The retail industry in London is said to provide around 400,000 jobs and accounts for 40% of all money spent in London. With this in mind, it may seem shocking that most of the people working in retail in our nation's capital are only being paid as little as £5.60 an hour from the age of 18. I want to know, is it possible to survive in London on a minimum retail wage, and if so, how do they do it? Georgie Walker has been working in the retail industry since she was 16 years old, and she's experienced the struggle of living on a retail wage in London.
I worked in H&M and I've worked in All Saints. I've worked in Links of London, Jewellers, and I've also worked in a bag shop. So I've worked in different rates of retail. So it's always been like minimum wage that we get paid. There is a bonus system usually where if the whole store reaches its target, we will get a bonus, which can be really helpful. But my basic pay will be obviously just minimum wage. So my rent is £600 a month. My salary for a retail job at minimum wage has not given me enough to survive in London on a month after paying rent. I've actually had to get an overdraft because a lot of the time I'm not keeping up with the amount of money I'm spending as to what I have. I don't think people that work in retail are paid enough for what they do, especially depending on the kind of retail you're working in. A lot of the time there is a lot of customer service work, there's a lot of logistics as well in retail, so sometimes you should be paid more, I think. And obviously it's London, so there's a massive influx of tourists all the time coming to London, especially to shop.
Last year, the living wage was raised to £8.25 an hour, but most retail stores are still choosing to pay minimum wage. This has caused a lot of aggravation on social media from those who feel they simply cannot survive on the national minimum wage. Surviving on the minimum wage is made even more difficult by London's average house price rising. The average London house price is now 12 times greater than that of the average London wage, and in some boroughs up to 17 times higher, according to data from the Land Registry.
Well, housing prices in London are rising. It's actually got to the point where people are moving out of London because they can't afford to stay here. It's mainly younger people sort of in the 30s who are moving away. I do think minimum wage plays a part in it, yeah. People are working in central London but aren't paid enough to actually live here. I think if minimum wage went up, people could afford to rent in London.
So, with the cost of living in London rising and retail wages staying the same, who knows what the future of retail in London will look like?